Hello and welcome to Everyday Success. This show is designed to inspire you to achieve the dreams that you want in life. Have you ever walked into a room and seen somebody walk through with elegance and grace and the confidence of a lion, and you wonder, what do they have that I don't have? How come their life looks so easy and mine's so challenging? Well, that's very simple. It's social self-confidence. And today, we have leading author of Everyday Etiquette, Patricia Rossi, in the studio with us today to share some of those secrets that are going to give you self-confidence. Which is a learned skill. Patricia, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
We're so glad to have you. Social confidence is one of the most important things people can have in life to accomplish what they want. Tell us a little bit about the importance of, let's say, business social networking.
Well, you're going to be out there every day, so you have a 50-50 chance. When you get up and get dressed every morning, do you say, as you're getting dressed and brushing your teeth, I'm going to break relationships today, or I'm going to make relationships today? So what do you say when you're brushing your teeth and getting ready?
Yeah, you want to make relationships, and you want to improve upon those relationships.
Yes.
You want to build upon those relationships. So there's a little bit of the secrets, if you will, in terms of walking into a business networking organization. Let's talk a little bit about that.
There is. You want to prepare. It starts at home. You want to pick out something you feel wonderful in. Nothing new, something that is your tried and true go-to. And then it starts in the parking lot. Gather yourself in the car. Then you go into the networking event. You want to stop by the ladies' room or men's room. Make sure there are no hairs hitching a ride on your clothes.
I always get the biggest kick when my girlfriend asks me, what should I wear? And I say, whatever makes you feel the most confident.
Yes.
So I totally understand that. There's a couple of secrets when people go. I've always been confused by these business networks when everybody's out trying to get business, trying to get themselves out there. And really, you're a personal brand.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, you want to show up and shine. And everybody, we all think it's about us, but it's about putting other folks at ease. So there's simple ways to do that. One way is you always want to remember someone's name. Don't think about telling people you went to Harvard or Yale or won the hot dog eating contest in college. You want to simply listen, and when they tell you their name, you want to repeat it back. You want to say, Ron, nice to meet you, not just nice to meet you.
Very great.
So,
there's confusion oftentimes I see with people with business cards, which is one of the things that you obviously have to do.
Yes.
But tell me a little bit about your perspective on everyday etiquette and handing out business cards.
Well, people give them out like they're handing out flyers in Times Square. And your card is a part of you. It's a part of you that you're giving to someone. So there is a magic in the way you give it, as silly as that sounds. You want to give it with the logo out so that you can read it. You don't want to just throw it and fling it. One person sliced my retina last week flinging their card. So is that how they're going to handle your business? Are they going to fling it around? Or are they going to hand it with ease and grace? And there are 10 other tips about the business card that will make you shine.
Is there a little one that do you offer first or do you ask first?
Well, it's always nice to ask, may I give you my business card? Because we always all want a choice. Mm-hmm. All of us, even from, we're talking about our kids and, from 5 to 105. We all want a choice. So I always say, may I give you my business card?
If you want more information, obviously we're going to give you a link later to get more information on Patricia's site or Everyday Success site. Let's talk a little bit about the interviewing process, because if you're a personal brand, the interview process is not something just lasts. It starts at 9 and ends at 10.
That's
it's
right.
kind of a process that goes on for a little while in today's world and society. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on that.
Well, it's a two-way street. So many of us go to interviews hoping they give us the job or we get the job. Well, we need to know that we're going to be giving them something as well. So we need to know that company inside and out. We need to know what their mission statement is and what their goals are. And we also want to share our goals, but beware, we don't want to say, when's my vacation or what do I get paid? Those are the very, very last things you ever discuss.
So the basic lesson here is you better do your research, be prepared, and want to talk about them versus you,
yes,
but address their questions forthright.
Yes, and you also want to try to find people in the company that you can talk to, or people that know the company before you go. You want to find out the style and taste and what that company thinks and how they operate. You want to know everything going in. It's just like a football game. You don't want to just put the quarterback out there. It takes the whole team.
When you walk into any kind of situations, it could be a cocktail party, it could be an interview, it could be a business networking arrangement, there is an art to the conversation.
There really, really is. And again, you are there to search for treasures. You're not there to tell about everything you've accomplished. So when someone tells you they like the Bucks or they like the Yankees, you simply repeat it back. Oh, you like those Yanks. You know, you love, or I like Derek Jeter as well, or Joe Torre, it's a shame he left. You want to let them know you heard them, and you want to remember that. And also, as we said before, remember the person's name. That's everything to a person.
Patricia, if you're in the middle of a conversation, all of a sudden you realize you're dominating the conversation.
Yes.
And all of a sudden a little Jiminy Cricket in your head goes, I better slow down here and ask some questions. What's a good way to segue and transition back into it's all about you and not me?
Well, you want to ask things that make us happy or fill our hearts up. Like you're thinking of traveling this summer. What was your favorite vacation? Or what has been your favorite place you've ever traveled? People light up. And another thing, people love to talk about their pets. They do. If you're at a total loss, you can say, tell me about your family pet that you had when you were small, and people just light up.
Okay. People like me that sometimes I get accused of being borderline ADD, and I say that in jest, struggle sometimes with the proper amount of eye contact. I know there's a proper amount of eye contact in a conversation, but with somebody you just met, somebody that you know, and somebody that you know intimately. Share a few thoughts on that.
Well, the main thing is you don't want to be looking for the bigger, better deal, like looking around people, because we smell that right away. So if it makes you nervous to make eye contact, I say look at the triangle, and that's right here. And you're not looking right into someone's eyes, but you don't want to stare at them so much they feel awkward, like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? So there is a fine balance.
Now, did you get that? Perfect. Okay. Starting and ending a conversation. You walk in again, and you don't know whether to reach out to somebody, let somebody come to you. A lot of that is personality driven. Obviously, extroverts are going to be more outgoing than introverts, but let's say you're either or.
Okay, here's the best thing I'm going to tell you. 90% of people, and we talked about this before, that are attending a networking event, 90% they're nervous. So you want to go with the intention to put other folks at ease. And how do you do that? You simply put your hand out and say, hello, I'm Patricia Rossi. Hello, I'm Ron. It's just simple. And after you've talked about the traffic and weather, though, now what? So what do you talk about once you've talked about the traffic and weather?
You try to draw something out of interest of them?
Yes.
Ask them questions.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do, because we're all there for the same reason. And you want to make sure your tummy and toes are facing them, because if your feet are facing away, it sends a silent signal that you're trying to get away.
Interesting. Body language is so important. I read one time where if you lean or do not stand up straight, you drop your credibility something like 90%.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's point that out, because in a very lazy society at times, that can be a big deal.
It is. The way we carry ourselves, we're walking autobiographies. It lets people know whether we believe in ourselves or we don't. So the next time you go to a cocktail party or a networking event, you can scan the room and see who feels good about themselves just by the way if they're standing up straight and if their feet are anchored under them or they're leaning. Never lean.
Those people that make life look easy as they walk into the room, what do they have in common? Social self-confidence.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's magnificent. Now, we don't have an opportunity at this particular time to go into great detail about the social setting of dinner. But let's talk a little bit about dinner when someone sits down, and we've all been there before. If you didn't, unless you had a Southern living mother telling you exactly how to use the bread knife or the salad fork. So talk a little bit about the low-hanging fruit for someone that may be walking into a social setting that maybe initially they're going to feel uncomfortable.
Okay, well, when we dine with people, it's almost sacred. And if you think about how many business deals are brokered over breaking bread. So we'll start with the bread. That roll is not a cake, so we're not going to ice the whole top of it. We're not going to frost the whole thing. You just break a little piece and eat one little piece at a time. And I always tell folks, don't be a great white shark. Eat one piece because your entree's coming. You don't need to consume the whole bread basket. And don't molest it either.
It's your food, my food. We all are going to get our food today.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I've probably been accused of that myself once in a while, and that's okay. Let's go back to kind of wrap this up. There's so much that we can talk about, and we're going to have you back again. But let's talk a little bit about the single most important thing as far as social self-confidence. What would that be? Number one, when you say your name, you want to say it with confidence. And also remember the other person's name. A handshake says everything. There are 10 ways to handshake. There's only one right way. So you want to shake it like you mean it. And lastly, my best tip is if you write thank you notes, 5 a week to whomever you meet in business. Simple thank you notes.
takes 4 minutes, 3 lines, send it within 2 days. It's liquid gold. You are going to shine brighter than any of your colleagues.
I think that's probably one of the most significant tips in today's world of texting, email, social media, etc. That is just a great personal way to stay in touch and let people know that they really meant something to you. While we're here, and we have you here because social media is everywhere.
Yes.
And a couple of years ago, I couldn't even spell www dot, so it's okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about social media and the importance of sharing your consistent brand in social media.
It is the new frontier, and if you're not on it, you're on a donkey. So you need to ask yourself, do I want to be in a Ferrari or on a donkey? So people that say they don't have time for social media, I just think, oh my. So number one is just like you and I sitting here. I don't launch right in to buy my books or buy everything from me. I get to know you. I ask about your children like I did today when we walked in. We found a warm point and we talked about that. Social media is the same way. You just get on there, interact with the people you have something in common with, and their friends jump in and their friends jump in, and it's just that simple.
With social media is such a broad thing. You've got Dig, and you've got Vimeo, and you've got Livestream, and you've got Facebook, and you've got Twitter, and you've got LinkedIn, and you've got probably 10 other iterations that are going to be developed as we speak today. How do you manage it all?
Well, you pick
or
two.
Do you manage it all?
Well, there's some schools of thought here. You pick one and do it well. You're not going to go to a ranch and ride 10 horses. You're going to pick the one that you feel most comfortable on, whether it's a stallion or glue stick. So you pick one social media. You learn that one well, and you can learn it in a month, and then you add 2 and 3. And you try to manage those because it is your personality coming out. If you hire someone to do that, they're not going to be able to tell you the sacred and personal things in their lives that are above board. So find one, learn how to work that one, say Twitter, then jump to Facebook, LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is the one for every business person. We all need to be on LinkedIn.
I'm a big advocate of Dale Carnegie, and I just absolutely love Dale Carnegie. And I was recently given a book, Dale Carnegie, and how to win friends and influence enemies in the digital age. And it's kind of a repurposing of that, but it's a great book and a great reminder that can help people also.
Yes.
But we're here to talk a little bit about everyday etiquette. So you can reach out to Patricia at her site. We'll have it on the link below, and I encourage you to get a copy of Everyday Etiquette. It's a beautiful book.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Patricia. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. This has been fun.
I'm so glad you came.
Thank
you very
you.
much. If you'd like to learn more about Patricia Rossi and Everyday Etiquette, please go to her site, where you can learn tips, everything from the backyard barbecue all the way to the executive dinner suite. Thank you.